Also, she's also been very selective about this market, in part because the risk using certain traditional metrics have been far too great versus the reward. And one of those things that is used on the street is called equity risk premium. I'm going to bring in Main Street Asset Management CFO Aaron Gibbs. All right, Aaron, so we've got equity risk premium, which is sort of the market, stocks versus bonds. Essentially, this is telling us as this goes down, that stocks are far less attractive than bonds. I mean, it really means you're taking a bigger risk the further this goes down.
Right, and this is mainly that downtrend really has been about the higher interest rates on the bond side versus equity stocks becoming too expensive. But recently, it has been, just in the past couple of months, more about stocks being a little too expensive and bond yields looking so attractive. And so you may want to change up your selection. But just like your previous guest and what we've talked about, most of those excessive valuations, those high premiums on the equity side, have come from 10 stocks.
Right.
So there's still value out there. And so if you take out those top 10 stocks, because we're just looking at these indices when we're looking at equity, because if you take it out, there are new stocks. So my top 3 priorities when looking at it is efficiency. Can you generate a lot of cash flow?
This is for the company itself. The company has to be efficient.
The company itself. So not about indexes, looking at stock specifics. Is it efficient? Can it generate a lot of cash flow for the amount of capital it has? That means it doesn't have to go get loans every month. We know that credit's tightening. We want to make sure it's a healthy company. It doesn't need loans.
You start on a balance sheet then with this cash flow balance sheet? You kind of skip the income statement and go straight to that?
Absolutely. So actually income statement and balance sheet, free cash flow yield over invested capital.
Growth? What kind of growth?
So earnings growth, profit growth. Are you still growing? Because that's important as we look ahead. Even with high interest rates, you better be able to beat inflation and beat those interest rates.
I had to get a psychiatrist over quality because oh, quality! What the hell is quality? High anxiety. You win.
Quality really is this: can you consistently increase your profits? Can you consistently increase your dividends? And so, if you have a very consistent track record, you're not going up and down. You're not having lots of losses. That means you're a quality company.
All right, let's talk about some of your top picks. And I like this list because by the way, you know Apple got a downgrade today at Loop. I'm not sure if you saw that.
Valuation.
A rare downgrade. Okay, based on valuation. By the way, folks, I love downgrades on valuations because that's not an indictment against the stock. These firms just think the stock has come too far too fast. Be careful not to sell in those, at least in my opinion. VRSN.
VeriSign, software, just one of those companies that hits my all 3: efficiency, quality, and quality.
Fortinet, FTNT, of course, one of the top cybersecurity names.
Yeah, and another software services company, not a mega cap, sort of floating a little below the radar, and again, hits all those 3. Apple is the one where it's a little on the pricey side, but its cash flow is off the charts, and I think it'll continue in
What do they buy back? They buy like $1 billion in own stock a day.
Exactly.
A day.
Exactly.
Humana, this is a little bit different. If this is Sesame Street, we'd be like, one of these things is not like the other. You know?
Exactly.
Can you guess which one?
And so I wanted to give something like really defensive. Humana is just one of the great plays within the healthcare space. It has been coming off of its February lows. It's sort of like a slow and steady, but really great entry point at this price.
All right, I almost had to wear my sunglasses for this segment. Congratulations on the marriage.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look beautiful. Beautiful bride. Aaron, also, thank you so much for all the help. We need it.